Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be making wide leg trousers, and here are the measurements I'm going to use. So to begin with, there is this 0.5 inch that I've left here to draw my starting line. Then at the side for the center line, I'll use the actual paper since it's straight. This is what I'll use as my center line. If your paper is not straight, you can go ahead and draw a straight line. So we're going to have a band of 2 inches, as you can see. So I'm taking out 2 inches. I'm placing it on the waistline to draw my hip point. Waist to hip is 10 inches, which I've marked here. Then waist to crotch is 12.5 inches. That was my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Then you can actually sit and just measure that to retake the crotch depth. You can measure and see where it ends. Then my knee, waist to knee, 24 inches. And my full length or ankle length will be 40 inches. Then I'll leave 1.5 inch hemming allowance. So I've labeled my lines, and to get my thigh line, at the crotch line go down by 3 inches to get your thigh line. Then I'll just put F to label this as the front piece that we're going to start with. Then I'll come to the hip line. So my hip circumference is 42 inches. Divide by 4 is 10.5 inches. But then I'm going to add 1 inch, making it 11.5 inches. So I'll just mark that on these lines, the waist, hip, and crotch line. Then you can draw a straight line like this. Then we'll now come back to the crotch line. So the distance from here up to the end, divide by 4. So that was 11.5 divided by 4 to get my crotch extension, which is 2.8. Then come out by 1.5 inch. Then at the hip line, come out by 0.25 so that you don't curve too deep. So I'll just join these lines to make a curve. Then at the waistline, I'm going to mark my waist measurement, which was 34 divided by 4 inches, 8.5, plus 1 inch sewing allowance, plus another 1 inch, which will be our dart allowance. We'll mark here. Then you can go ahead and join the waist to the hip line with a curve. After this, I'll come to the crotch line. So the crotch line together with the extension up to here, I'm going to get the midpoint of the whole line. Then just go ahead and mark it on the hip line, on the waistline. Make sure you start from the center line on the waistline. Don't start from the curve. Just mark it all around, even at the bottom. So I'll join these lines up to here. You can go up to the bottom. Make sure that if you're shaping your trousers. So I'll mark in my dart. So my front dart is going to be 5 inches long. So I'll mark it at 3. Remember, I was subtracting the 2 inches for that dart. So I'll mark my dart at 3 inches. Then I'll come to my thigh line, which was 25 divided by 2 inches, which I'm going to mark here, plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Then at the knee line, I'll use the same measurement at the thigh line, which I'll put at the knee line, and I'll also put at the ankle line. If you want a palazzo which is very wide fitted, you can go draw a straight line directly from the crotch line down up to the ankle, but I want it to be a little bit fitted at the thigh, and I don't really want that wideness because I'm using Ankara fabric. So I'll go in by 1 inch at the knee line and at the ankle line. I'll go in by 1 inch just to reduce the wideness of the trousers. Then I'll do the same at the other side. Go in by 1 inch at your ankle line and at your knee line. Then you can go ahead and draw your new lines here. Okay, you join it like this. Then I'll just extend my lines down here to my hem and cut this out. So I went ahead to cut it out, and here's how it turned out. So I'm going to place it on the, I'm first going to place my pocket. So I want it to be about 2.5 inches wide. So I'll mark it at 2 inches. Then slide your ruler like this and mark at 7 inches. Then I went ahead to fold the 0.5 inch allowance at the waist of the front piece, and I've placed it on the back piece and extended the lines. As you can see, I've pinned it down. So we'll start from the crotch line. So you can come to this line where the crotch extension of the front piece ends, and you can add 1.5 to 2 inches extension of the back crotch. So I've added 1.5, and then you go down by 0.5 inch. Then you now go to this line, get the center line, and go up by 2 inches like this. I'll just draw a straight line here like this. Then get the measurement of your waist like this. Then place it on this line in a slanted position. Okay. Like this. Then you can go out by 1.5 inches here to guide you on the curving of the back crotch, and you can go ahead and just curve this like this. At the thigh line, add 1 inch, add another 1 inch, and another 1 inch. So you are going to join this. So 1 inch this side will be added for seam allowance, and another 1 inch will be added to the other side of the trousers, which will act as sewing allowance. So at the knee line, you add 1 inch, and even here you add 1 inch. So this will serve as the sewing allowance. Okay, then for the curved areas, I'll get my hip curve ruler to just curve in like this, even here. Alright, I used my marker to just draw in these lines, these curve lines. Then we're done with our piece. Okay, so I'll take this distance, which is 4.5, and put it on the back piece. This is the midline, right? The line from the crotch to this center line that we had drawn, to this grain line that we had drawn. Then use the crotch curve for the back to continue marking your 4.5 or whatever you got. This is because your back crotch is not straight. So the dart will also follow the slantiness of the back crotch. So the back dart will measure 6 inches. So I've marked at 4 inches, taking out the 2 inches for the band. Okay, then I'll just go up by 0.5 inch here and here, and I've just put in the allowance for the joining of the band, and here's how it looks. So I've cut this exactly. As you can also draft this directly on fabric. As you can see, I've cut it directly on fabric just as it is. So the sewing of these trousers will be linked in the description box. Don't miss out, guys.